Well, first day in shorts, and it's not how you play football, but good to see offensively from a standpoint of guys teaching fundamentals and technique as opposed to scheme. You know, that was the anytime you're new, you know, Brent and them coming in last year and obviously changing some things and teaching scheme as opposed to you know, honing in on the fundamentals and techniques of the positions and what we need to do, and that's you know, makes us even better than obviously a year ago at this time, which we needed to be, but it's, that's refreshing. Defensively, again, we got to have some question marks inside answered, linebacker depth answered, and safety. I mean, that's where we've got some serious question marks defensively. So, but I like our attitude and our work ethic continued from our off-season program, and I'm pleased where we are.
Guys are always excited when they're in shorts.
That's right.
First day of spring ball out there. How long
Sure.
does that last?
Well, again, that goes back to the maturity of your team. You know, when you got a bunch of competitive guys that understand the importance of practice and going out and either get better or worse every day, then you don't ever worry about it. And with this team so far, they've been pretty good. Last year's team was outstanding. They worked. They understood the importance of walking on the field and getting between the white lines and playing.
What's Ronald going to do with this? I mean, he's obviously not out there practicing. I mean, what do you have him doing?
Ronald Powell?
Yeah.
He's, you know, in all of our walkthrough and teaching sessions, he's a part of what we're doing. And when he's not, then he's rehabbing and working on his knee and continuing to gain strength in the weight room, and looks great and is working extremely hard. And, you know, obviously all frustrated for him in what he's been through. But again, you know, he understands that he's matured through it, and he's been outstanding.
Do you believe that you build a defense up the middle?
I do. I think, you know, I'm young, but I'm old-fashioned, and you better be strong up the middle. If you're not, you know, you look at any sport. You know, look at basketball. You better have a point guard, and you better have a center. You better have a pitcher and a catcher in baseball. And so there's no question we've got to be strong up the middle, and that's something that's a question mark. I know Dominic Easley can go in there and play inside. Those other guys need 1,000 reps. And rep and rep and rep, and we've got to continue to build depth with the guys we've got. And at linebacker, and I'm glad we've got them. They're good players. They're talented guys. They just got to get some experience.
Do you think you can answer those questions at linebacker more quickly? Because the safeties, you have all these freshmen who can make an impact.
Well, at linebacker, I feel very comfortable about Mike and Antonio. I have a lot of confidence in both of those guys playing very well. So it's really after that, Daniel and Alex and those guys continue to develop at that position. At the safety position, you know, we have some flexibility because of Jalen and Cody. So we have some flexibility, but again, at the end of the day, we got to get our best players on the field, and whether that's at safety, nickel, corner, it really doesn't matter.
Well, you mentioned the Rabbits package yesterday. Is that something Brad brought with him, or were you guys already doing that?
I've been doing that for 12, 15, 14 years, something like that.
Do you feel comfortable with the numbers you have up front to have the kind of physical practices you want to have down the road?
Well, on the offensive line, we're a little short, but you know, again, it is what it is. We're able to do a lot of that. You know, that's part of spring ball. You do have some injuries. You do have some guys that have surgery postseason. So we've got to be able to manage that and still get the physicality that we need to be successful.
With the guys just in shorts and obviously not being able to have pads every day, how do you have them show the physicality that you want to see in practice?
Well, it's hard doing in shorts, very difficult. But you know, it's you coach effort and a lot of teaching. We have a lot of installation the first 2 days purposely because of you know, not having as much contact as we will as we move into Saturday.
With installation, how do you think guys were just kind of picking things up?
Good, very good retention on both sides, which is expected.
How do you guys look as far as figuring out the offense?
Good. I mean, again, DeMarcus Robinson made some nice plays today. I thought he did some good things. You know, Kelvin Taylor got in there, did some nice things. Tyler Moore looked like he fit in up front very well. You know, obviously we're in shorts with an offensive lineman that's a little different. Max Garcia, of course, was with us this fall, but still is new. You know, Joey Ivy ran around in there. I saw Alex and Daniel get a lot of reps because of our depth at linebacker is not as good. And those are the guys, you know, off the top of my head. You know, obviously Matt is not in right now rehabbing his knee.
Dominic Easley seemed like he frustrated you guys a little bit at times when you first got here, you and Dan. Is he developing and maturing and becoming a little easier to work with?
He frustrated me when he jumps off sides. But other than that, he doesn't frustrate me very much at all. He's a very talented, hard-playing guy, and when the bullets start flying, I'm glad he's in our foxhole.
How's he doing as far as being
so he hasn't really frustrated
me. So he
me.
never frustrated you?
Well, when he jumps off sides.
Okay, got that.
Yeah.
How's he doing as far as being a key leadership role now?
Well, I think, all guys develop and all guys mature. I had a younger player that's not younger anymore tell me, said, I never understood when I first got here when you talked about you need to mature more. And I thought, I'm growing up. He goes, but I understand now it's about handling your business and not being a list guy that shows up on every list you turn around and he's on the academic list and the injury list and the late for the weight room list and late for class list and the tutoring list. So I just tell our guys, don't be a list guy. That's number one. And then guys that are productive in their role within the organization. So whether it's on offense, defense, or special teams, they're showing positive production for our team. So their contribution is so positive, and there are no negative. And I think a lot of guys mature quicker than others. But Dominic's a guy that's been very productive, and he's a guy that the first way you become a leader is being productive, because you have respect from your teammates because they know you've been there, you've done it. You don't get it with your mouth. You get it because of how you play the game and the production you put out there. So he commands leadership immediately because of the way he plays and the production that he brings. On top of all that, he's a guy that works hard. He works hard in the weight room. He loves the game. He loves playing the game. And I think that a lot of our younger players especially and his peers see that and understand that. And that's why he is a good leader for us.
Driscoll's first off season as the starter. Did he command any leadership today, or how did he look?
I feel like he always has. I don't think you go out and go on the road and win in some of the environments that we've won in and not have leadership. So I think that Jeff's a competitive guy. He's not an extremely vocal guy, which you don't need to be. In my opinion, you don't have to be vocal to be a leader. You need to be a guy that demonstrates things the right ways and pick and choose your opportunities to be vocal. And Jeff can do that.
How much of this first day or two is just going over the syllabus?
Well, again, we're installing, we're going over situations. We hit on a lot of different situational work at practice today. So every opportunity, you only get 15. So it's not just an ordinary day. You only got 15. You either get better or worse, and I thought we improved.
How hard is it to find fullbacks when you're
Well, it's just the evolution of football. It's the same thing about linebackers. They're all playing defensive end now because of all the spread offenses. There's no fullbacks because everybody's in a one-back set. There's hardly ever any tight ends. The only tight ends you see now are either guys that are pluggers and all they can do is block, or guys that are receivers that are big. So they're all difficult to find. Tight ends, fullbacks, and linebackers, because they're a dime breed of what we do, because everybody's in nickel and dime all the time.
So how easy is it to make a fullback then?
Well, you got to be a willing guy, which Raheem and Gideon are both very willing, because both guys enjoy contact. Both guys are good athletes. And so there's no question that's part of the job description that fullbacks want to do it.
So that's as critical for your offense, for you guys, as quarterback is. If you don't have one of those, you're not going to be successful at all.
Well, I wouldn't stretch it as far as quarterback, but it is critical. We need to have some good ones.
Is it considerably more difficult to evaluate those guys in spring, given that they're not in pads?
The first 2 days.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I mean. The first 2, yeah.
Yeah, you don't really know much. It's kind of like offensive line. You just get in their way.
It's one
Two
day,
final
but
questions,
it's one
guys.
day, but how Lucha's looking is new.
Good. He makes some plays at wide out, and again, he's still in the learning process. Yesterday I had a long talk with him. He got a little frustrated. I said, "Listen," I said, "You remember your first day at corner? It just doesn't happen overnight. That's why we're doing this, so you can learn the concepts of the offense, and you can step in. So it's very difficult for a guy that's had tremendous success at a position, and is trying to learn the other position. But guys, that's what spring ball is for. So it's for developing players and developing your football team and doing what's best for your team. It's not about winning the drill on March 13th. It's about preparing your team for the season, and that's why we're doing this. And again, it's just something that's going to help our football team, in my opinion.
If Matt was the smartest person in the secondary last year, who takes over that role this year? Who do you think the smartest guy is in the secondary?
Well, I don't know. Right now, we need to have some guys develop and become better communicators, and Matt was that guy. So that's something we're missing at this point after one day and going through the all-season program of being vocal and being confident with the call and the check. There's no question that's an issue.